Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Living Room. This is season 1, episode 15, where we have real discussions with real people, having real conversations, discussing real topics. On today's episode we're going to be discussing a little bit more about politics in terms of what we need to do to move forward. Again, are you voting for Trump? Are you voting for Biden? What policy has been affected? What policies have been reversed, etc. And so what we're going to do, I am going to give the floor to Darla and let her speak about what she thinks that can currently happen in the next presidential election.
Yes, well, I just recently brought up the point that if you're pro-life, you really don't have a party choice. The Republicans are the only ones that's speaking for the unborn at this time, and that is a huge blight on our nation. And I know slavery has been, but this is another big one. You're talking millions and millions of babies just killed out of choice. And we're not talking about the 2% of rape or incest. God, I wish to God there was some limit on it. But there is no limit. And recently we saw in New York where even babies that somehow survive it and are born alive, they're like, oh, we'll keep them comfortable until we figure out how to get rid of them. Well, there's the trash can. I don't know. And they were all cheering and laughing, lighting up the Empire State Building. It's just horrific. It's just horrible. So that's one reason that I do vote for pro-life candidates. And I know people are going to say, well, that's the one issue. Well, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness starts with life. You kind of got to start with life before you can work on everything else.
Amen. Kwame?
Yes, well, one thing I was looking up some statistics on healthcare. In the United States, we spend $3.6 million on healthcare, which is about $11,000 per person. And our healthcare is about 18% of the gross domestic product. And that's up from 5% in 1960. I believe that healthcare is a human right. The Constitution doesn't speak about capitalism, but it does speak about welfare. And I'm a strong proponent that education and healthcare should be rights that Americans should receive equally. And so I agree more with the Democratic platform because also if we look at education, we have some of the highest debt per person. Think about $45,000 per person of graduates when it comes to, it's $37,000. In 2018, the average borrower owed about $37,000 at the time of graduation. Now, I believe that we have to have a system where education, quality education, is free across the board from K through not just 12, but also in college. I believe that we do have money there. We have military spending that needs to be scaled back. There's a lot of waste in government. There is a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of oversight when it comes to healthcare and the billing practices that needs to be scaled back. So that's one of the reasons why I align myself more with the Democratic Party, because I believe that we have rights and freedoms that need to be shared across the board. And I'm also against the death penalty, because I don't believe that humans should be not just a judge and jury, but definitely not the executioner when it comes to life. Because I believe that if we are going to respect life, we have to respect all life. Because now, as we see, there are a lot of people who have been in prison, like the Central Park Five, who were condemned by Trump, who would have been exonerated. And you see these stories over and over again. There's a case of Ellen Reason over out of Missouri, who was one vote shy of getting the death penalty in Missouri. And then she was exonerated. So I just strongly believe that if we respect life, that we have to respect all life.
Well,
Go ahead, Brittany.
it sounds like you might be pro-socialism.
Hold on 1 second. Brittany, I know you're not really political or whatever.
Well, I'm agreeing with what he was just talking about, how the healthcare and the school. I mean, I'm one that's in debt with it. I also do not have healthcare because I personally can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. I mean, do I need to go to the doctor? Of course. Am I gonna go? No. Why? I can't afford it.
Right.
They'll go based off of what you make, but they don't take into account of your other bills. We have rent, we have foods, we have other bills, we have kids. I have a 16-year-old. There's no extra money to be thrown for healthcare for me. So I don't go. My son has healthcare. Guess who's still paying bills even though he has healthcare? I am.
Right.
I mean, I get it that you have it and there's an amount that they take care of. Really, that's still not helping me because I still owe a lot of money now, even though for doctors for him. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Right, and that's not right. You as a woman in America, you should have access to quality, affordable health.
Hold on for a second. So that's why I say, we need to make sure that we get out and vote for whoever you want to, whoever's along your party lines. Get out and vote, but don't just vote because we have to educate people. Don't just vote for the presidential elections. Vote for your local government, your state government, your mayor, everybody, because everything gets affected at a state level and at a federal level. So I tell people, get on here, educate yourself about everybody's policies, and get on there and vote. What are you about to say, Darla?
Healthcare is a huge issue, but I thought the whole point of Obama was the Obamacare. That's what I remember from Obama. That and gay marriage is what I remember from his administration. But it didn't work. It didn't work, and people can't afford Obamacare. So it's still. So I don't see that the Democrats hate 8 years, and they didn't get it. Meanwhile,
but that's not true. There are more people who are insured now under the Affordable Care Act than there were before.
Well, nobody I know of can afford it. So in the 8 years prior to President Trump's inauguration, prescription drug prices increased by an average of 3.6% per year. That prescription drug prices have seen year-by-year declines since, with a 1.1% drop in the most recent month. So a lot for prescription drugs. Here's something else on the healthcare. He's approved more affordable generic drugs than ever before in history. He reformed the Medicare program to stop hospitals from overcharging low-income seniors on their drugs, saving seniors hundreds of millions of dollars. The First Step Act provides rehabilitative.
Hey, Darla, hold on. Because all that stuff right there, I've seen rebuttals for it, and he did not do any of that stuff. It was the senators, and it was the Democrats, and they were sitting there talking about those bills and laws. He didn't push that stuff through. It was them that pushed that stuff through, just like with the COVID-19 bill. If it was up to him, he wouldn't have did that. The Democrats voted for that stimulus package first. They were the ones that said, hey, the American public is suffering. We need to do this. Donald Trump was on board with it, and neither was the Republicans. And then it was like, okay, our businesses are being affected by it now, so we need to get a stimulus as well. So then everybody came together and then voted on it. And then after a while, he was like, well, I'm not going to sign this law unless my name's on it. So now they put his name on it and let him sign it so everybody can get a stimulus bill. He did not push those bills through.
No, wait a second. No, you can't say this is public record. He increased funding for the historical black colleges and universities by more than 13% for black colleges.
Public record where?
Poverty rate fell a 17-year low to 11.8% under Trump.
But no, all of that has been wiped away. Now we have the highest unemployment rate since the Great Depression.
You got to give it a chance to come back from COVID, just like we do individually. There
are other nations that did not have that dip in their economy as we're having.
Well, they shouldn't have closed down then. We shouldn't have closed down at all. And then you would have really talked about the death rate.
We should have closed down earlier.
We should have closed out earlier, and it is. Literally, he has to take responsibility. Like this guy doesn't take responsibility for anything.
You could always put
it's always good stuff. Oh, I did this.
We're talking over each other again.
Yes, you started it. I mean, literally, we were talking to you.
2019.
I know you're a Trump supporter.
Criticized.
Hold on.
Affordable Care Act. The U.S. saved $2.3 trillion.
What?
So you can always put a spin on these statistics, but if you look at the essence, we believe that Americans should have the right to education and affordable health care. And if you're against that, then I just don't understand. And I know you said earlier that you said I sound like a socialist, but you just stated earlier that your company received money from the Paycheck Protection Program. So that's socialism.
Pretty much.
Well, yes, but socialism Are you a socialist? Are you for socialism?
I haven't received any paycheck protection money.
Well, you didn't.
And no, I'm not. I'm a Democrat. I believe in capitalism as a small business owner. I haven't received any corporate welfare. You have.
It was mostly the Republicans that received it. They received all these companies, everybody, all these beggars and welfare recipients and everything. And I'm like, well, look at all these billionaires and millionaires that got all these tax reliefs and dividends and stuff. That's socialism. He signed it into law from the state.
I think Ruth Chris hopefully gave some back. I got mad at that one too. But there's no way the Bank of America knows anybody's political or who they're voting for when they hand out loans. I mean, there was a lot of paperwork, so I don't believe that they handed to the Republicans and not Democrats. That's silly.
But a lot of people that got on TV was like, oh, I am a Trump supporter and this and that, and I'm glad that I got this stimulus check and everything. And I'm like, that's socialism.
Everybody got this.
They're not supposed to help you. Socialism. If they want us to keep a capitalist society, it's that pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing. And so if that's the case, then we should have not gave any of them the stimulus bill. All the people
everyone got the stimulus. I'm assuming you all got the stimulus bill too. And we could
get it.
We could
I make coins. I got good money. I make money. I make too much to get that.
Oh, okay.
Everybody doesn't get that.
Oh, I thought it was based off your tax income or something. Okay.
Well, my money ain't below that.
Okay.
I didn't get none of that. So
we can all argue that Social Security is socialism, that public schools are socialism. So you can. I know the arguments that, well, if you do anything, if you have any program like that, you're part socialist, and that there's democratic socialism, et cetera, et cetera. But anytime you have relocation of wealth and property, like Bernie Sanders wanted, I think you're asking for a total. I don't know if you were a Bernie Sanders fan or not, but that is socialism, and that's never worked. That's never worked in any economy. It takes away the incentive. It takes away the incentive. Why work hard, Chris, if you're going to have to give, so much of it away? If you're going to have to give 50, 60, 70% away to other people that may not work, you won't keep working as hard. And then hence the problem with Venezuela. Everybody says, heck with it. They give up, and then the whole place is in shambles. You do know about Venezuela, right?
I'm sorry, your phone, you're cut out. You said
okay. The preamble of the Constitution states that an overriding purpose of the U.S. Constitution is to promote the general welfare, indicating that issues such as poverty, housing, food, and other economic and social welfare issues facing the citizens were of central concern to the framers. The Constitution states general welfare. The Constitution does not speak about capitalism. So therefore, we have an education system where people get education from K through 12, free education. In some states now, junior college is free. We have a system where some people receive free Medicare and Medicaid. Are you against that? Because we have a system that has aspects of social welfare.
Yeah, I take it everything I just said was cut out. Yes, I said I realize that Medicare is a part of democratic socialism, that free public education is a part of that. But
right.
Yes, so, and then I got into Bernie Sanders, who is against private ownership of property.
He's not in an election anymore. I mean, I'm supporting Biden.
I'm just saying, but that was a socialism candidate, and the Democrats, many of the Democrats wanted him and wanted him last election.
Yeah, but all
you have many Republicans who are fascists, but I mean, that's not a concern or issue here.
Okay,
Exactly.
So no one here is for socialism. They just want all free healthcare and all free college, but they don't know how it's going to be paid for. Is that correct?
I don't want the fascists though. Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. Good point. So,
well, I know.
Hold on, Kwame. Hold on. Everybody's talking about, we don't know where we're going to get this money. We don't know we're going to do this and do that. First of all, we were able to pull $2 trillion out of our ass just like that.
Which was welfare.
Hold on, Kwame. After everybody sat here and said that, we can't do slavery reparations, and we can't socialism this, and we're going to pay for this. Hold on, dollar. So we pulled $2 trillion for 400 million people, not including these businesses that shouldn't have got it, like Ruth Chris and the Lakers and etc. So this is what I'm telling you. If we could pull money for that stuff, for everybody to get money that shouldn't have got money, then we can definitely pull it for universal health care. We can definitely pull it for reparations for slavery, because this is another thing. They're able to pay, Italians got lynched around 1899 or something. Reagan administration in the 1970s paid them for reparations for something that happened almost over 70, 80 years ago. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody is only convenient when it's helping them, where they can see a benefit from it.
Well, we went into debt.
They can pay for it. Trust me. They can pull $2 trillion.
Yeah, I mean, you can, yes, you can go into, it's going to be problematic because we went into debt $2 trillion. That's why he's got to work on the international trade agreements. You think Biden's going to do that? You think Biden's going to say them to China?
You think Trump's going to do that? What did Trump do?
China has done it.
What did Trump do? What did Trump do
China has
against China?
moved best. Oh my gosh, that's why China retaliated. That's probably why they retaliated with the COVID. They're the first people that had to be responsible.
All right, one at a time.
What did Trump do against China?
Trump is the first person that has held China responsible. We were just a big lollipop for China. And I think that's probably why COVID was suddenly created and sent over as a message. I'm not sure.
And Trump had many of his own products that were made in China. Many Trump products were made in China. He's a hypocrite.
Yeah, big hypocrite. This is what I'm talking about. You guys are voting for somebody who's not only alive, but a thief. And he sits here and it's okay when it benefits him and his family and his rich white friends, but when it comes to everybody else, it's socialism, it's this and it's that. But they're sitting there getting all their products built in China. They're getting all their products built in Mexico. And these are the people that he's sitting here bashing. This sounds ridiculous. It sounds two-faced.
The $2 trillion.
I vote for a two-faced candidate. I'm sorry.
We're going to have to find a way to get out of huge indebtedness. Now, I think our huge indebtedness to China should be wiped out now because of COVID. That might help the $2 trillion we just printed off the press.
That ain't happening.
To give everybody the incentive package. I mean, I don't know how that'll fly over there, but they're on their way to world domination and about to make it there. And
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
They are.
I agree.
Yeah, so we have to deal with that, and we have to be able to have a man that's a leader to deal with that. Do you really think Biden, or maybe you think his vice president will just totally run the country? I'm assuming whoever he picks vice, that he's just going to be a puppet. He's going to be a puppet head.
I'm sorry,
right, Trump, like I said,
are any of them delusional? But y'all have to be delusional.
Trump has been helping
China.
China.
I can't do that no more. It's
guys,
it's
I've got 20 pages that you say was either left over from
Obama. Got 20 pages for Biden. You forget Biden was already in the White House, and the country was being ran just right. We didn't have all these issues.
The economy was not good under Obama.
Hold on.
It's much better under Trump, and you know it.
We didn't have all these race issues. We didn't have all this unemployment. We didn't have all this division. We didn't have our international
allies. Every time there's an election, they make sure they stem the confirmation issue.
Hold on,
Trump is a liar.
International presidents talk about us like we're illiterate or something because of Trump is in office. You cannot sit here and say that this guy who had 7 bankruptcies, who bankrupt all these companies, can run this country. That sounds delusional.
Trump has broken campaign promises.
I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm sorry. That is so delusional. I'm like, there's no way I will let somebody
he ran on the premise
run my company.
Okay, if you have 550 businesses and only bankrupt 6, that's an amazing.
It's not only he has had poor business practices. He's broken campaign promises. He stated that Mexico was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it.
He's kept so many promises, you guys. So many.
He has many of his products that were made in China. He's a joke, and the populations of the world are seeing it. He has weakened America.
No, the first we were respected around the world. They knew that they could get away with murder with the Democratic Party because they're not going to say or do anything. They're do-nothing Democrats. Trump has rebuilt the military. He's secured our country's borders. He's rebuilt the military.
How has he rebuilt the military?
Are you reading some propaganda stuff? I don't know what you're reading.
You're reading propaganda.
That sounds like some propaganda stuff right there. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. I know people in military. That is a lie. A lot of them even
know people in military.
So why is it now you have former generals and his former secretary, his former chief of staff? These are 4 sword generals who have come out against Trump and said that he's a clear and present danger. These are high-up officials who have broken the rank. In the past, generals have never come forward to get involved in politics, but they are now because Trump is a dangerous megalomaniac. And we have to get
You have
And
the
that's
deep,
ever.
you
That's
have the
in
deep
history.
state coup,
This-
and they're coming out too, and many of them will be arrested too. So he's
Of course, we know that, darling. That's all he does.
Right? They'll be arrested because he's a fascist.
He's,
Because he
no,
wants to curtail
that's
freedom of
not
speech.
even cool.
That's why
He's a
people
That's
fascist.
all names. Let's not be name calling.
He's a fascist.
Not be
He's a
name calling.
fascist.
He
He's a
rebuilt the
fascist.
Now
economy.
we
Let's
don't want
keep
to
it
name
real.
them. Your president has called people's names. He's called
He's rebuilt the economy with an unemployment rate of 3.5. That's the
All right,
best
y'all.
for
We're
any
running out
minority.
of time. We're running
We
out of
have
time,
the
y'all.
highest
We're running out of time.
unemployment
We're running out of time. We're
Bring the
running out
president.
of time. We're running out of time. That's just we will continue discussion another time, weeks or something down the road when we get closer to the election. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our company product or service of the day. Actually, no, we're not going to. Actually, I think we did have a company product service today. Let me see. I know we were going to talk about Church's Chicken. I don't know if y'all still eat it because everybody's on that health kick right now with Church's Chicken and KFC and things of that nature. I want to see what you guys thought about it.
Is there any Church's Chicken in LA?
There's one down the street from here.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Where?
I think there
It's
is
off
one down the street.
Figueroa, and there's one
Oh.
south on Figueroa.
Okay.
I know that their chicken don't taste as good as it used to. I don't know if it's the ingredients or
I
if
mean,
they
it looks good, but I've never had it.
chemicals or something. I don't know, but it back then used to be so delicious. It used to be. I mean, they used to have the right amount of seasoning on it, but I don't know what happened now. But it seems like a lot of these companies like Church's Chicken it's hard for them to try to compete against like the Subways and these healthy food companies because everybody's on a health kick because of all the chemicals in the food or however it's going on. But I think I like Church's Chicken. Well, back then I did. Now I don't eat it no more. Anybody else still eats it?
I've never had it.
Really?
I've never had it.
It's been a while.
I used to eat it when I was younger. Church's to me is very greasy. It just doesn't taste organic. And you were talking about Church's Chicken, right?
Oh my God. All right, I'm going to end this segment. I'm ending this segment. So I need
some other companies.
I need to show you my.
It's greasy.
I need to show you the photo and video today picked by the producers. I think this is a good photo and video today that we need to have. It's going to be a photo of United We Stand, Divided We Fall. And I think that everybody needs to come together. There needs to be a lot of reform in America with a lot of our policies and our laws, especially, in my opinion, with the police department. It needs to be a huge reform because we should not be going through this 400 years later. I think that we need to, these jobs need to start paying people a little bit more. I mean, it's a lot that needs to go on. So in order for us to be the powerhouse that people said we used to be and be the leaders of the free world, we need to get back to that standard. And I think that standard has dropped these past 4 years. And we need to really, really get back to the basics. And so that way we can start supporting the people, building products in America. I know it's overly expensive, but at the end of the day, we need to start building products in America to keep people jobs as well, not just overseas saying that, oh.
That's a Trump platform. America First.
That's not a Trump platform.
America
Trump
First.
uses stuff over there. He uses stuff over there, Darla. Like, are you serious? He uses stuff over there. He uses stuff over there. Like his stuff is built from over there, Darla. His stuff is built in China and stuff. So at the end of the day, it's a hypocrite.
I don't know,
but that was the photo or video of the day. Well, I got to end this segment. United we stand, divided we fall. Thank you guys for joining me on the living room, and we hope to see everybody soon. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hi, thanks for watching The Living Room. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook pages. In addition to that, if you feel like you would like to be a co-host on our show, please make sure to submit your audition tape to thelivingroomtvshow.com, or you can also submit it on one of our social media pages. In addition to that, make sure to submit your audition tape and the reason why you would like to be on our show. We'll see you next episode. Have a good day. This episode of The Living Room is sponsored by Juiced Up, Way Smoothies on the Go. Juiced Up is a California-based company that offers smoothies and acai bowls on the go. The company accepts deliveries, and you can place your order by going to their Instagram page at JuicedUpAF, or for more information regarding the products, you can go to their website at www.juicedupaf.com. juicedupaf.com.